Hello friends and welcome to my channel. So friends, this is the first video of a series of videos that I'm going to make on this amazing technology called AI generated arts. Usually I make my videos in my native language Bangla, but in this series of videos I'm going to make them in English or a mixture of English and Bangla because I want the international community to understand what I say as well as the people of my country. ফ্রেন্ডস, আপনারা যারা বাংলাদেশ থেকে আপনাদের সুবিধার জন্য আমি আমার ভিডিওর কিছুটা পার্ট আমি বাংলায়ও বলবো, বাট অনেকটা পার্ট আমি আসলে ইংলিশে বলবো যাতে ইন্টারন্যাশনাল কমিউনিটির মানুষরাও বুঝতে পারে। সো গাইজ, AI art has taken over the internet like a wild storm, and you all know that, of course. Midjourney Discord server has over 1 million users. There are three major AI art generating apps or programs that are out there that are people using. The first one is Midjourney, the second one is Stable Diffusion, and the third one is Dall. All three of these AI art generators are immensely popular, and a lot of people are using one or the other to create amazing artwork. People without any arts background are also starting to make designs and arts and different types of illustrations using one or all of these platforms. What I'm going to do in my video here today, or in the series of videos that's going to come up in the next few days, is I'm going to show you or take you through some of the basics of these three programs. Then slowly I'm going to go into some of the more difficult ideas regarding working with these AI art generator programs. I'm going to show you how you can run these programs in your own computer so that you don't have to spend a lot of money behind these programs, because of course these AI generators, they or these developers, they need money in order to sustain the program that they're running, server cost not. But because this is open source, it's actually also possible to run these programs in your computer. Specifically Stable Diffusion you can run in your computer, so we're going to talk about that in some of the or one of the future episodes. And I'm going to show you different styles of art and how you can generate your work based on those styles. So it's not really a one video thing. I'm going to break this entire journey of understanding AI art generation into very different parts, and I'm going to target one specific idea at a time so that someone who does not have any idea or someone who has problem in coming up with really good quality arts or good quality images or great looking images can learn how to do it by themselves. ফ্রেন্ডস, আমার এই সিরিজ অফ ভিডিওসগুলোতে আমি এআই আর্ট নিয়ে কথা বলবো, একেবারে বেসিক থেকে শুরু করব এবং অনেক অ্যাডভান্স টপিকে আস্তে আস্তে যাব। আপনারা যারা একেবারে আর্ট করতে পারেন না বা ইভেন আর্ট বোঝেনও না, আমার মনে হচ্ছে তারাও এই ভিডিওগুলো দেখে কিছু কিছু শিখতে পারবেন এবং নিজের মতন করে আর্ট জেনারেট করতে পারবেন। আমি আমার ভিডিওগুলোতে ইভেনচুয়ালি ডিফারেন্ট আর্ট জেনারেশন যে অ্যাপসগুলো আছে বা প্রোগ্রামসগুলো আছে সেগুলো দেখাবো এবং কিভাবে কাজ করে সেটা বোঝানোর চেষ্টা করব এবং কিভাবে নিজের একটা স্টাইল ডেভেলপ করতে হয় সেটাও আমি দেখানোর চেষ্টা করব। So friends, in today's video, which is basically the 101 of AI art generation, we're just going to look at three of the different AI art generating websites where you can generate arts for free. So friends, as you can see in my browser window, I have a Discord channel open. Two of the three art generation softwares are actually hosted in Discord. Midjourney is hosted in Discord, so you can create art just by chatting. So is Stable Diffusion, but I don't have access to Stable Diffusion in Discord. I actually use Stable Diffusion in my PC locally. I'll show you in a future video how you can do that as well. And there is Dall. So Dall is actually in its own hosted website. So let's just look at Midjourney first. I was introduced to AI art using Midjourney actually. So when I started with Midjourney, there was a long waiting queue. আমাকে অনেকদিন আসলে অপেক্ষা করতে হয়েছিল এই সার্ভারে অ্যাক্সেস পাওয়ার জন্য। So I waited maybe 2 to 3 weeks, which is not really a long time, to finally get the access. Right now I think the server is really full, and I don't know if they're allowing a lot of people to join the Midjourney servers, but other than Midjourney, there are other servers that host Midjourney. Even I have my Discord group which hosts Midjourney, and if you join my Discord group, you can use Midjourney in my Discord group. So this is what Midjourney looks like. It's basically a Discord channel, and you can create art by simply typing imagine. So when you type imagine, you see that you are asked to give a prompt. So whenever you have to create art, you have to tell the AI bot what is it that we want, or what kind of image we want to see. This is what is called a prompt. ফ্রেন্ডস, আমরা যদি আর্ট ক্রিয়েট করতে চাই, তাহলে আমাদেরকে আসলে এই এআই বটটাকে বলে দিতে হবে যে আমরা কি দেখতে চাই, আমাদের আর্টে আমরা কি সব জিনিস দেখতে চাই। এই যে বলে দেওয়াটা বা এই যে লেখাটা, এটাকে বলে একটা প্রম্পট। সো লেটস স্টার্ট উইথ এ ভেরি সিম্পল প্রম্পট। My prompt can be something that is very simple, but something that also illustrates the power of these AI art generators. Let's try to create a simple art based on one of the most celebrated artists of all time. Let's try to create an art in the style of Van Gogh. So let's try a purple fox in the style of Van Gogh. So it's going to take some time, and then it's going to create that art. So while it's doing that, I want you to see how this Discord server is. I think you can just learn to use it like in a few minutes. কয়েক মিনিটের মধ্যে শিখে ফেলতে পারবেন। So your servers are here, like your channels are here. So you can just join any of these channels, or if you are in my channel, then there is no other channel. So this is just this one channel. And if you are in some larger channel, then there'll be like all these topics. So, and this is where you type in your AI generated prompts. While you're at it, you will observe that this is actually some kind of a democratic kind of a process of creating art. People are actually putting their own prompts here. People are typing their own ideas, and you can actually learn from something from this. So we see that people are actually typing all kinds of things. Some very complex ideas are being put in there. A lot of parameters are being put in there. Something that we are going to discuss and explore in details in future, that what exactly these parameters do and how they affect or impact your image generation, image creation. But the idea is that the more parameters you give, the better your images will come out, because the AI will know sort of more of what to do with what you're saying. All right, if you just tell them to create, let's say just like I did, okay, create a fox, it will just create the fox. But if you tell the AI that, okay, you want to create that fox in a scene where this is happening, on a green field with a tree behind or a house behind, then it's going to draw a much more complete picture. Anyways, I think our generation is complete. So yeah, our generation is complete. So let's click here. So we asked the AI to draw a purple fox in the style of Van Gogh. So I think it's very clear that this is the style of Van Gogh. আমরা এআই কে বলছি যে ভ্যান গর স্টাইলে আমাদেরকে একটা পার্পল ফক্স এঁকে দিতে, এবং আর্ট স্টাইলটা দেখেন, এটা কিন্তু ভ্যান গর স্টাইলে আনমিস্টেকেবলি। এখন আপনি দেখতে পাচ্ছেন চারটা এখানে আসলে আউটপুট আসছে। there are 4 outputs. That is because by default Midjourney creates 4 variations of a same prompt. This is a good thing, because if it creates only one generation, or if it creates only one image, then you might wonder what exactly or how differently it might have been, or if you tried something else, or if there are other variations that is possible. Yes, from the same prompt, Midjourney আসলে অনেক ধরনের ভ্যারিয়েশন করতে পারে। আপনি একই প্রম্পট বারবার দিবেন, the same prompt again and again will create different images. আপনি যতবার দিবেন different image create করবে। So যেহেতু সার্ভারে আমাদের আসলে generation time is limited, like there is a limit to how much you can generate because it costs money. So this is a good thing, because একবার একটা প্রম্পটে 4টা ইমেজ আমাদেরকে জেনারেট করে দিচ্ছে, যাতে আমরা অ্যাটলিস্ট সিলেক্ট করতে পারি। সো আমার কাছে মনে হয়েছে যে দিস ইজ দ্য বেস্ট ইমেজ। সো আপনার যখন একটা ইমেজ পছন্দ হবে, অল ইউ নিড টু ডু ইজ আপস্কেল ইট। সো এখানে 4টা ইমেজ আছে, there are 4 images. So this is 1, 2, 3 and 4. So if I like this one, this is actually 2. So you can upscale to by clicking U2 here. U2 or U means upscale, and V2, V means variation. So what most people do and what I do is that I click on variation just to see যে আরো বেটার কোন ইমেজ বেসড অন দিস পাওয়া যায় কিনা। অর্থাৎ আমার তো এটা পছন্দ হয়েছে, বাট এটাকে একটু বেটার করা যায় কিনা, বা এটার আসলে কোনো ডিফারেন্স বা ভ্যারিয়েশন পাওয়া যায় কিনা। সো what I usually do before upscaling is I try to create a generation based on, or I try to create a variation based on one of the images that I like. So let's do that. Remember, every time you generate image, even if it's variation, it's going to cost the points. Um, Midjourney has a point system. You can only create so many images in the free mode. I think I'm in my free mode. I was a paid member last month, but this month I haven't paid because I was really busy with Stable Diffusion. But I still probably have some points or free points left over. So what I'm gonna do is I really like this image, but I want to see if there are other ways to interpret it using this same style. So I'm just going to go for V2. So এখানে দেখতে পাচ্ছেন, as you can see, it took this image and then used it as a starting point for four more images. So yeah, as you can see, there are actually four more variations which all kind of look similar, but of course they're not the same. There are slightly differences, slight changes, and it's done. Wow, this is really fast. So let's click on this. So বুঝতে পারছেন যে আসলে চারটা আসলে একই ইমেজ, বাট there is a slight difference, হালকা ডিফারেন্স আছে. So look at the background. The background is slightly different. This one is really very simple, just a fox standing on a purple golden sort of background. But the fourth one is a lot of detail. So there is some leaves in the background, and he's standing on the ground with some flowers. And here it's a very similar one. So অনেকটা কাছাকাছি, again একটা জায়গায় দাঁড়িয়ে আছে, পিছনে কিছু ম্যারিগোল্ড বা কিছু ফ্লাওয়ার্স দেখা যাচ্ছে. সো আমার কাছে মনে হচ্ছে যে দিস ইজ দ্য বেস্ট ওয়ান. সো যেহেতু আমার এটা পছন্দ হয়েছে, আমি এখন এটা আপস্কেল করবো. সো আই এম জাস্ট গোইং টু আপস্কেল ইট. বাই দ্য ওয়ে, এই যে বাটনটা আছে, এটা মানে হচ্ছে গিয়ে রিডু দ্য হোল থিং. You have to, so if you press this, or over here if I press this, it will just take the same prompt and roll the dice from the very beginning. So I don't want to do that. It's the same as typing that for prompt again, sort of. Anyways, so I want to upscale this one because, oh sorry, I said this one, I like this one, sorry. So I'm going to upscale this one. So I'm going to press on this V4, sorry, the U4 button this time, because U is for upscale. So let's do that. So when it's upscaling, that too costs some credits. So each action that the server takes, or the AI takes, actually costs you some money or a token, for example. So anyways, this is properly upscaled. Let's click here. So as you can see, there's a lot of detail going on here. It's still a very small image, probably 512 by 512 pixel. And of course, we're going to learn how to make it even bigger using some other AI programs that we'll do in one of the future episodes. But as you can see, it's much more detailed. If I look at this, so this is not that much detail, but it took this and added a lot more detail and sort of upscaled it. So I can just maybe right click and save the image as, or whatever generation that you did, those are actually saved in Midjourney servers. So there is a profile in my name and it has all of my creations. So look at all the things that I've tried before creating. So I've tried a few things, and some of my early creations were, well, very basic, and honestly I was just sort of really learning and I didn't know what to do. So I created a lot of well, things that are, well, not waste, those are part of the learning process, but I think I still had very very good images from Midjourney. So anyways, so it's saved here. You don't have to, because because it's a server and a lot of people are actually generating arts, prompting, so it's very easy to get lost. Your arts might probably just get lost because people are just creating so many artworks. Like, let's go to, let's say, creation hub, and let's see. So people are always creating something, always creating something. Okay, so I used to sort of get lost. uh, like I used to maybe do a prompt and then maybe go for a break, and or maybe I'll just do something else and come back, and I was like, oh my god, where is my image? Then I had to like scroll up and blah blah blah, and try to find that. But if you go to a channel, Discord channel or Discord group where not a lot of people are active, then I think that this is much easier because it's sort of there already. So anyway, this is a basic look at Midjourney. Midjourney, in my opinion, is a very good starting point because no matter what you type in, it creates this amazing images, very painterly, very artistic. খুবই সুন্দর সুন্দর ইমেজ দেয় আপনি যত যাই স্টুপিড জিনিস লিখেন না কেন, সবগুলা প্রম্পট থেকে অ্যাটলিস্ট আমার কাছে মনে হয়েছে যে সুন্দর একেবারে দেখানোর মতন কিছু একটা আপনাকে প্রেজেন্ট করবে, যেটা কিনা আবার স্টেবল ডিফিউশন বা ডালিতে একদমই নাই। দোজ আর মোর ইনটু বিট মোর রিয়েলিস্টিক অর বিট মোর ডিফারেন্ট কাইন্ড অফ স্টাইল আর কি। সো এনিওয়েজ, now let's go to stable diffusion. So stable diffusion is hosted here in stability. So in order to use stable diffusion, you can go here to Dream Studio. So I'll give you the link below the video. So this is still in beta, but this is actually very good. And of course, there's a system of credit as well. You can see over here that whatever image you create, you have to spend 1 credit per image. So I think I started with 200 credits, probably have quite a lot more left. Anyway, so unlike Midjourney, you can see that it has some options. So we can actually change the size of our image. So you can make it interactively wider, or we can make it taller. Okay, uh, changing the height and the width of the image impacts the image that you generated. So now I'm going to go through all of that today. We're just going to look at image generation in stable diffusion using Dream Studio AI. So we're going to type in the same prompt. What was the prompt? A purple fox in the style of Van Gogh. So we're going to do that. And this is what stable diffusion gives us. So you can see that this is fundamentally different in terms of the style that it generates compared to Midjourney. Of course, আমরা এটাকে একটু tweak করতে পারি. We can make some changes to some of the settings, or you can make the changes in the prompt itself to create a more Midjourney like image or more Van Gogh style image. You can do that, but just we're going to leave it at that and show you exactly what we get when we type a same image in Midjourney and in Stable Diffusion. Just one key difference with Midjourney is that when you generate something in Midjourney, it gives you 4 options, but Stable Diffusion, or at least Dream Studio, gives you one option. But if you want more than one option, you can change this to 2, 3, 4, etc. So I'm just going to show you the basic way that you can use this software. So I'm just going to leave it at one image. Let's look at my creation history. So these are all the things that I have created in the past. Not many images because I use it locally in my PC. And the final one is Dali. Sorry, it's here. So for Dali, I had to wait for a long time. I think I waited for 3 months. Dali was the first one that I applied for to enter the beta, but it gave me access like 3 to 4 months later. So by the time I had access to Dali, আসলে আমি এর মধ্যে অনেক কিছু করে ফেলছি। আমি আমি মিড জার্নিতে পুরোপুরি হচ্ছে গিয়ে ঢুকে গেছিলাম। I was like totally focused on mid journey, so I didn't use Dali that much. But in my experience, I found out that Dali can produce certain kinds of images which are very useful to you in your professional line of work. Anyways, we're going to explore all of those tidbits of Dali a bit later in a different video. So today we're just really introducing you to the interface. So let's try to type in the same thing. Let's just copy paste it. Okay, so this is the image generated by Dali using the same prompt in the previous two. So you can see that how sort of underwhelming the art generation or image generation is in Dali. That's because a lot of people feel that Dali is really good for creating sort of realistic images, and of course our prompt is not very realistic. It's we have asked Dali to create something in the style of an artist. So it tried its best to sort of mimic the artist, but I think in 4 tries, I think it sort of got only one output that sort of resembles, or we can say perhaps distantly resembles Van Gogh. Maybe Van Gogh's cousin or the third generation grandson would have drawn this one, sort of, but much better than the first three, which looks like this one looks like child scribbling. But at least this is like a very artistic style, so something that an artist might have drawn. This pose is very similar to the one we got in Dream Studio or Stable Diffusion. Again, once again, it's a far cry from what is created by Midjourney. So you can see why Midjourney is really, really popular. But while Stable Diffusion or Dali somehow didn't really catch on. So guys, this is my first video on creating art using the three major algorithms or AIs that create art based on your prompt. In the future videos, I'll explore more about the creation of art using these AIs and how you can refine your style and get more out of these videos. সো আজকে আমাদের খুব বেসিক আপনাদের যে তিনটা মেজর যে এআই আর্ট জেনারেশন ওয়েবসাইট আছে সেগুলোতে আমি আর্ট জেনারেশন ক্রিয়েট করা দেখালাম। ফিউচার ভিডিওসগুলোতে আরো ইনডেপথে যাব এবং আরেকটু বেশি ডিটেইলে আমরা স্টাডি করব যে কিভাবে আপনি আরো বেটার আর্ট জেনারেশন করতে পারেন বা ক্রিয়েট করতে পারেন। So I hope you guys like what I had to show today. So if you really like my video, please do subscribe to my channel. In my channel, I primarily create videos in my language, but my videos on AI will be in English so that most people around the world can understand this. There will be one or two videos on completely different topic in my channel, but for videos on AI art generation, I'll use a completely different playlist of its own. So perhaps you can bookmark that playlist in your browser so that you can often visit and look back at what I have to say or what I have to show to you regarding AI art generation. Please subscribe my channel. Your subscriptions and your support will help me to grow my channel, and I want to come up with really fun and interesting stuff that I have learned to do using these AI art generator programs and things that I will be happy to share with the community so that we can do fun things and interesting things together. So we'll see you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.